Linux Most Essential Commands. Welcome. In this lesson, you will learn the most essential Linux commands. These are the commands every Linux user must know. Take your time. You can pause and practice each one. Let's begin. Section 1. Understanding the terminal. Linux is controlled through something called the terminal. The terminal allows you to talk directly to the operating system. Most Linux systems use a shell called bash. Bash stands for Born Again Shell. When you open a terminal, you are inside your home directory. Your home directory is your personal workspace. Now let's learn how to move around. Section 2. Navigation commands. Command 1. pwd. This stands for Print Working Directory. It shows your current location. That is, your current folder location in the file system. Example, type pwd and press Enter. You will see your full directory path. Command 2. ls. This lists files and folders. Type ls. You will see everything in your current directory. Useful variations include ls-l. This shows detailed list. It shows the permissions, size and date of file and directories. ls-a. This shows hidden files. Hidden files start with a dot. Command 3. cd. This means change directory. To enter a folder, use cd followed by the folder name. E.g. Downloads. pwd shows I'm now in the Downloads folder. To go back one level, cd ... To go home, use cd tilde. The tilde symbol represents your home directory. Pause here and practice the commands. pwd, ls, and cd. These three commands are fundamental. Section 3. File and Directory Management. Now let's create and manage files. Command 4. mkdir. This is used to create directories. For example, mkdir projects. This creates a folder named projects. ls to see the created folder. Command 4. rmdir. This removes an empty directory. For example, rmdir projects. ls to see that the directory no longer exists. For this command to work, the directories must be empty. Command 6. Touch. This creates an empty file. For example, touch notes.txt. Now you have a file named notes.txt. ls to see the file. Command 7. cp. This stands for copy files. Use this command to make copies of files. For example, cp notes.txt, backup.txt. This creates a copy of the file. If the file you're copying to doesn't exist, it is automatically created. Command 8. mv. If you want to move files and directories into a new location, use mv. This command can be used to rename files. To rename a file, type the command followed by the file you want to rename, then the new name. For instance, mv notes.txt, ideas.txt. ls to see the change in name. To move a file, type the command followed by the name of the file you want to move, then the path or directory you want to move it to. For example, mv ideas.txt bob. This moves the file from the current folder to the folder bob. Command 9. rm. This command deletes files. For example, rmideas.txt deletes this file. ls to note that the file is no longer there. Be careful. Linux does not have a recycle bin in the terminal. Once removed, it is gone. To remove a folder and everything inside, that is, to delete a non-empty directory, add -r before the folder you want to delete. For example, rm-rbob deletes the directory bob. Once again, Linux does not move to bin by default when you're using the terminal. Therefore, use this carefully. Pause and practice creating, copying, moving, and deleting files. This will make you memorize these basic commands and use them effectively. Practice helps in retention of what you've learned. Section 4. Viewing file content. For the demonstration, I recreated the file, notes.txt. Command 10. Cat. This means concatenate. Use this to display file contents in the terminal. For example, cat notes.txt. This now shows the contents of this file. Command 11. Less. Use this with large files. For example, less notes.txt. This enables you to view the file more conveniently. Use the up and down arrows to view the file content. Press Q to quit. Command 12. Hid. If the file has many lines, use this command to see the first 10 lines. For instance, hid notes.txt. This has displayed the first 10 lines of the file notes.txt. Command 13. tail. Use this command to see the last 10 lines of the file. For instance, tail notes.txt. Now you see the last 10 lines. Section 5. Permissions. Linux has file permissions. Every file has owner, group, and others. You can change these permissions. chmod command. For example, chmod plus x script.sh. This makes the file executable. Note that the color changes to green. Command 16. chown. This command changes file ownership. Administrator privileges are used. You can gain the privileges by using sudo. Example, sudo chown programmer script.sh. Sudo gives temporary admin power. With this command I have changed the ownership of the file from master the code to programmer. Section 6. System information. Command 17. Who am I? This command shows current user. Type who am I and press enter. Use this to know which user you are logged in as. Command 18. Top. This command shows running processes. Use this to see how running services and processes are using resources. You will see number of tasks, load average, process ID, user, CPU usage, memory usage, and the command executing each process. Command 19. df-h. Use this command to see disk space. The -h outputs in human readable format. You will also see used space, available space, and mount points. Command 20. free-h. To see memory usage, use the free command. The -h outputs in human readable format. You will see total memory, used memory, free memory, shared memory, cache, and available memory. Command 21. uname-a. This command shows system information. This includes the Linux distro you're using and version. Section 7. Package management. Different Linux systems use different package managers. On Ubuntu and Debian systems like Ubuntu, Tails, and Kali Linux, the advanced package tool apt-package manager is used for installations and package management. For example, sudo apt-update, sudo apt-upgrade. On Fedora, DNF is used to install manage packages. For example, sudo dnf update. On Arch Linux, pacman is used for package management. For example, sudo pacman su. These commands I have demonstrated in this section are used to update the system. Section 8. Searching and finding. Command 22. Find. Search for files using this command. For example, find.-name notes.txt. This will show me the path which the file is located. The dot means current directory. Command 23. grep. This command is used to search inside files. Very often when using the command line, you'll want to search for a particular keyword. For this, you can use the grep command as a filter to search for keywords. For example, grep hello notes.txt. This searches for the word hello in notes.txt. Section 9. Networking basics. Command 24. ifconfig. The ifconfig command is one of the most basic tools for examining and interacting with active network interfaces. You can use it to query your active network connections by simply entering ifconfig in the terminal. Command 25. Ping. This is used to check connectivity. For example, pinggoogle.com. We can see that the website is active since packages are being received. Press Ctrl+C to stop. Command 26. curl. This command is used to transfer data to or from a server using various network protocols such as HTTP, HTTPS, SFTP, SCP, and more. You can fetch web pages or API responses with a simple command. For example, curl google.com. Section 10. Power commands. Command 27. History. This lists all the commands that you've executed. Clear. To clear the terminal screen, type clear and press enter. You can also use Ctrl+L keyboard shortcut to clear the terminal screen. Command 28. Man. In addition to the help switch, most commands and applications have a manual page with more information, such as a description and synopsis of the command or application. You can view a man page by simply typing man before the command, utility, or application. For example, man ls. Now you can read the manual and have a detailed knowledge on how the command is used. Press Q to quit the manual page. Section 11. Redirection and pipes. Linux allows command chaining. The greater than symbol redirects output. For example, lsfiles.txt. This saves output of the command into the file. Hit the file to see the saved output. The pipe symbol sends output to another command. For example, lsgrep notes. This searches the output of the command ls for notes. Final advice. Practice daily. Linux is learned by doing. Start simple. Break things. Fix them. That is how real learning happens. Master these commands and you will be comfortable on any Linux system. From servers, cybersecurity, to development, to cloud computing. You now know the essentials. Keep practicing. You are building real skill. End of lesson.